It's Friday. This is the day we used to gather in the street after prayers and have long chats. But not anymore. Anyone gathering in public without permission now risks being accused of plotting against Daesh. I'm passing a crowd in a public square. I don't want to join them because they may have been told to watch a beheading. But thank God it's only a lashing this time. The offender is one of theirs. His offense, I'm told, was carrying out a homosexual act. Tomorrow I go back to work, a new week, with new hopes of being liberated. But I want to tell you about when Islamic State first entered my beloved city. On Mother's Day, a cold winter morning, I heard the sounds of warplanes. I immediately set out for my home. My brothers and sisters and I had planned a small party. As my taxi neared, clouds of smoke filled the air. The regime's warplanes had hit our street. There were ambulances everywhere. People were running around carrying the dead and the injured. One of my neighbors told me that my parents were hurt and had been taken to the general hospital. When we arrived there, the smell of blood and death filled the place. They asked us to look at the bodies laid out in front of us to see if my parents were amongst them. There was my dad. His body was covered in shrapnel wounds. "Your mother is being treated in there," a voice said quietly, "but don't go in yet." 2 hours passed. Finally, a doctor came out. I told him that I was her eldest son. "I've managed to save her life, but she's very ill," he said. A neighbor of ours, who runs a fruit and vegetables shop, offered to help. "From now on," he said, "you can work for me." I accepted unconditionally. A few weeks later, I was working in the shop when I heard gunfire and the boom of heavy weapons outside. Everyone was running on the street. My friend gripped my arm and said, "Daesh had taken over the city." Soon after that, a man I'd never seen before shouted at me, "Hey, you, smoking is not allowed." Another cried, "Hey, you, why is your wife not wearing a veil? This is forbidden." I heard loudspeakers in the streets saying some people were about to be executed. A group of blindfolded young men stood in handcuffs. In front of them, a masked man began reading, "Hassan, fighting with regime forces. His punishment, beheading. Isa was a media activist, accused of speaking to foreign parties. His punishment, beheading." A man with a sword carried out the punishment. As I walked down the road, cursing out loud, a group of Daesh's religious police rushed over and grabbed me. They took me to their headquarters. I tried to reason with them, but it was no use. "You were cursing out loud. Your punishment is 40 lashes."